Good morning! It's Rachel here with the beginning of my Reading Rush vlog day 1. So, I'm already outside so that I can read The Bad Guys Volume 11. This one is Dawn of the Underlord. So I'm going to get my outside book in first thing in the morning before it gets too hot because it's been really hot here the past couple of days. So, don't really want to sit outside and sweat all day. So we're going to jump in and get this one done immediately, and then that way I already have one book under my belt as well. So, I'm going to check in a little while. So I just finished my first book for the readathon. This series is adorable. I absolutely love it. I talk about it all the time on my channel. This is the newest one. It just came out in July, and I believe there's going to be another one coming out later this year, either in November or December. So if you know any children that would be interested in this cute little comic series, I highly, highly recommend it. So adorable. So book 1 is now complete. I'm going to go back inside and get some breakfast, and then we'll take it from there. So I just finished breakfast. I'm back inside. I've made myself a little reading nest, and I've got tons of blankets. I've got tons of books. I have a few snacks, and I have my coffee. I also lit a candle, and I have my nature channel going in the background. So I am ready to do a ton of reading today. So the plan is to read, I really want to try to read 2 more books today for the readathon, plus I have some other books I need to get to for other video projects that I'm doing. So I'm still going to be reading those books this week probably. I just won't talk about them too much here, but I am going to count them towards my page goal counts and like my book totals, because you know that's the whole goal of this week, right? To read as much as possible. But I just won't be talking about them much here because you'll be seeing them in other videos. So I do already have my first book done, as you saw. I read The Bad Guys. This is volume 11, Dawn of the Underlord. That was my obviously first book completed. It's about 175-ish pages, and that was my book I read completely outside of my house. So next up, I'm going to pick up Kent State. This is by Deborah Wiles, and this is a book in verse that is a historical fiction account of the Kent State Massacre, and this is the book for the color of my birthstone. So it's a super short one. It shouldn't take me long, but that's what I'm going to read next. And yeah, I'll check in and give you my thoughts here in a little bit. So I just finished up Kent State. I did take a little break in the middle because this is, even though it's super short book, it's really a dense topic. So I took a break in the middle, and I talked with my mom for a little while, and I also watched my first Reading Rush vlog. The little book owl is in Australia, and her first day is already done, so I will link her vlog down below if you are not following her. And yeah, I finished my second book. I highly recommend this as just a jumping off point even. I think a lot of people probably don't know about this. Well, I guess I shouldn't say people. I guess a lot of teenagers these days probably don't know about the Kent State shootings. And being from Ohio myself, this is something that I grew up kind of knowing a little bit about. I know the gist, but the writing in this really kind of inspires you to just think about your environment. I do think that the way the book was written, it's written in verse through a lot of like different perspectives, if you can see. Like each of these is like a different perspective here. We've got the perspective of just the people who lived in the town of Kent. We have perspectives from students on campus who didn't support the war and were part of the protest. We have students who either didn't really care or they were in favor of the war who were not part of the protest. We also have the voice of some of the Black students who were part of like the Black Student Union, and we also have just some dissenting voices, people in the community who felt like the violence was justified, and we also have the voice of the guards. So we're having a lot of voices heard, and I think it's just so moving because when you read something like this, you realize that even though this happened 50 years ago this year, that things like this still happen. We still have confrontation between our government and our people that can end in violence, and it's just a little overwhelming when you read it. I honestly, I really like the book, but I think honestly part of the best the best information is in the back, where she does a note about the day and kind of how she came to writing the story. She gives resources that you can do further investigation, and she really, even throughout the story too, really wants you, particularly like her teenage and like college age audience, to insert themselves into the story, meaning seek out, truth and stand against injustice the best you can, while also valuing other people's voices. And I liked her explanation of why she decided to keep in opinions that very clearly seem to differentiate maybe from her own and from like the popular opinion. I like that she explained that things don't happen in a vacuum, and history is really a collection of the voices, even the ones we disagree with. And if you silence the voices that you disagree with, like in this case, for instance, the protesters, if the protesting people are silencing the voices of the people who feel like they shouldn't be protesting, you're kind of like in a catch-22 of just continually silencing people. But how we do have to kind of come together and really support each other and, try to avoid things like this happening again in the future. But nonetheless, I read it. I really enjoyed it. This will be something that we definitely purchased for our school library. I actually think we might be getting it in one of our subscription boxes over the summer. Things got a little weird with all the mail at the end of the year, so I don't remember exactly, but I do think we might be getting it. So I'll be glad to talk about the kids with this, especially I think there's just so much to digest here. Just the history of it, the relevancy of it, matching up with what the kids are seeing today, even 50 years later, the idea of writing their own stories in verse. One of the things that the author talks about in the back, too, is that no matter where you stand in the world, no matter what your story is, whether it's against the main narrative or not, your voice is going to be important in history. And maybe there's going to be somebody years down the road reading your account of what has happened. So I just really like that she supported the student voices. Like I said, I think this verse style too could be a really interesting way to support the kids' writing. And I really, really liked that she gave several ideas in the back to look things up. And being not very far from Kent State, and while we're in Ohio, I think this could be really interesting to people, particularly my students. So I'm glad I read this one, even though it was not an easy read. It was a quick read. So second book done. I picked this one because A, I really wanted to read it, and B, it was my birthstone pick. So that challenge is down now, and I have 2 books done. So I finished my coffee while I was reading this, so I think I'm going to go get something else to drink and get a snack, and then I'm going to be reading a book for one of my other videos. So I'm going to take a little break from the reading rush, but I still am really excited that I've already gotten 2 books done. It's probably going to be probably about 240-ish pages, so not too bad. But I am, like I said, going to jump into this other book, which I'm super, super excited to get to. And like I said, I'm going to count the books and the pages for this vlog, but you'll be hearing about them more in another video soon, I promise. And yeah, snack time. So yeah, I totally fell asleep and then proceeded to not only fall asleep here on the couch, but then get up and just go to bed. And I'm finally up. I got a few things done that I needed to get done around the house, and I made myself a little bit of dinner. So I'm gonna have dinner and watch a little bit of TV and try to relax, and yeah. Then I'm gonna pick my book back up, and I'm going to get it finished. I'm gonna jump back into my book though. I'm about a fourth of the way through my first little mystery book, and yeah, we're gonna get that one done definitely this evening, and then maybe even try to get a 4th book done tonight. We shall see. I think I'm gonna watch some of this new show that I found on Hulu via the ID channel, and it is about these unsolved cold cases from Tulsa, and they're just about to close in on one of their suspects, so I want to see if they get him. And yeah, then I'll jump back into my book and I'll give you an update. Alright y'all, I made it about halfway through my kind of secret book, and I think I'm about done reading for the evening because I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna grab a quick snack and just watch a little TV to kind of relax a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to bed and hopefully get a big chunk of reading done tomorrow. I had kind of hoped to get a little bit more reading done today, but overall I'm still pretty excited. I managed to get 2.5 books done today, which equates to about a little over 400 pages. So I'm happy with that. And tomorrow we're going to do some more readings. So like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off tonight. I'm going to grab a quick snack and then edit this vlog and post it for you. So day 1 in the books essentially, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2.